forgot to hit the record button last time. So episode 4 is lost forever. Sorry about that, fans.
Lost to the void.
Oh well.
But that shit is gone. Alright, last episode, that shit is gone forever. But in the meantime, Gunnar, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Haley, are you ready?
Ready.
Candy, are you ready?
Yes.
Trey, are you ready?
Yeah.
Amber, are you ready?
Yeah.
Then we can start this week's exciting episode. In the new year for Star Wars D&D. Glad to be back, guys. Really glad to be back. I'm excited. Now, last time, if you don't remember, since it's been a year. Basically, you all were able to stop the smuggling operations headed here by the Neo-Dawn gang, as well as interrogate a few of their members that were left after the brutal carnage you guys unleashed upon this poor, unexpected gang. You find out that their leaders seem to be of Chiss descent. Recognizing that of Delcor's face, slandering his family's name before offing themselves with some sort of... Well, I'm not sure if you guys did.
Recognizing...
Space cyanide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Space cyanide.
Hello?
Yes.
Indeed.
Quite.
Haley?
I can't hear anyone.
Oh no.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Leave and come back.
She can't hear you.
She can't hear you.
Leave and come back.
Leave this
I
place.
guess he just went next door.
Well, I guess the good news is she heard all the important stuff about CJ's New Year's Day.
Right.
Protected, so.
Imagine
God,
she just
man.
muted everybody.
She just muted my rant.
Like, this guy's not stopping. Let me just mute his ass real quick.
Damn, is he still going?
Alright.
That's the third time he's talked about this fucking chicken. Alright, I'll wait until Haley comes back to us.
Alright, we're good.
Yeah, alright, cool.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
You're fine. But yeah, after thwarting the smuggling operation, you all help the authorities as they confiscate the gang's smuggled materials, which you all find to be relics and artifacts of what seem to be like the Sith. And from the information you all were able to interrogate from not only the Chiss, but another one of the Neo-Dawn members, these artifacts were recovered from Korriban, of all places, and were scheduled to be taken back into Chiss space, though the exact destination was unbeknown to the individual you all talked to, and the Chiss himself was unable, or unwilling, I should say, to give up such information. And though most of the trinkets seem to be memorabilia, books, plaques, things of those natures, some unique artifacts began to appear from this storage. One being a very unique and familiar ziggurat that a few of you recognize as being a ancient sort of relic known as a mind prison, which ensnares a person's mind in within its strange stoned influence, with that warning given to the police, or excuse me, the authorities of the Republic of Security here. They treat the artifacts with care, being very cautious in their transportation while they give them off to people who probably know how to deal with this a lot better, that being that of the Jedi Order here on Coruscant. Hearing about your involvement in preventing this smuggling operation, the Admiral Falk Dune, advises you all that the Chancellor has heard about this and wished to speak with you all. Probably based off of your involvement with stopping the smuggling operation. And so you all head back to the Senate building to meet with your appointment with the senator, only to find that the Senate was currently in meeting, as a representative from Alderaan seems to be speaking with that of the Senate on very delicate matters. And while they finished this debate, you all had a rendezvous with a very familiar, I was going to say associate? Yeah, former associate of yours. That being in the name of Reiko Dudani. Publicly known as being the right hand to the king of Alderaan, Kaleem. But in secret to only a few, Reiko's true nature is that of being a Sith infiltrator that works for the Mistress of Passion herself, Darth Alia. A tete-a-tete was, exchanged between Reiko and the party, not all knowing of her true identity and nature. However, Chandra, who is all well versed, was exchanged a few verbal blows with the young Reiko before her king releases from the Senate, reuniting with the rest of the group, before publicly declaring his Kingdom of Alderaan's resignation from the Republic. Kaleem deeply expressed his distaste for the current Republic and wanted no part in them, since they do not seem to offer any aid towards his planet's plights, while they deal with a recurring threat. But with bearing no ill will towards the party, though, Kaleem, expresses his gratitude for them all. Their deeds still fresh in his mind before he and his hand, Reiko, leave. With that bittersweet reunion behind them, our party stands within the main hall of the Senate, ready for their meeting with that of the Chancellor. And that is where we will pick up right now. So, Reiko and Kaleem just exit your field of vision, the doors closing behind them. The air still tense within the Senate chamber, or not the Senate chambers, but within the Senate building. The forces of Alderaan having left a very intimidating presence, even in their absence. What do you all do? Where do you all go?
So we're supposed to have the meeting right now with the Chancellor?
Yeah, you were asked to come back here. Specific timing for your meeting, though, you do not know. You just know that he asked to meet with you all.
Okay. Well, I guess, Nala will compose herself after their encounter with Reiko and the Cane and just say, okay, let's move right along. We shouldn't keep the Chancellor waiting, and I'm guessing there's a front desk or someone I can talk to, maybe?
Well, the front desk is more by the security entrance where you came in.
Okay.
However, I will say that you would know that the Royal Guard, essentially, I shouldn't call them Royal Guard, the Chancellor's personal guard is stationed before you, and if anybody knows where the Chancellor is, he would.
Which one are his personal guard?
The blue ones.
The doors?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Nala will just walk up to this one here, you know, nod her head, and say, I received word that the Chancellor wished to speak with us. Do you know when he wanted to meet?
Station Solitary and Salute. You see this armored individual who now that you've gotten close to it is more ceremonial than practical. There's a lot of like very nice flow of like deep blue silks that sort of like adorn this what seems to be souped up versions of like standard Republic soldier armor, but in a white and bluish color. He has these his whole garb is accented by these blackened sort of like pauldrons that are bulky on his sides, and in his hand he holds a towering sort of like what seems to be like almost like a metal like bow staff, but you knowing it seems to be a deactivated sort of electro staff that he has stationed at his side, and he turns to you. He's about the way, though his armor is like bulkier, except for these like these sort of like silk decorations on it. His height is probably about the same level as you. And as you speak to him, he turns, and you see a slight tilt in his helmet as he leans his head back a bit, and he just is quiet for a moment as he says,
Verifying. Yes. Seems the whole group is here.
he says as he scans across the lobby.
Sorry, you cut out when you said whatever you did with the voice changer.
All he said was verifying.
Okay.
And he says he's just confirming that the rest of your group was here with you. And he says,
Please, this way.
he stands to the side, and as he does so, he puts his hand to a panel on the wall, and the door behind him opens up, revealing a stretched out hallway. Nope, that's just making more shadows. There we go. Revealing a stretched out hallway. And he says,
Follow the path and take the elevator up. And don't cause any mischief.
Nala nods again, says thank you, and she's gonna wait for everyone to catch up with her.
as you guys begin to head down the wall, you see, as you walk down this wall, it's heavily decorated with memorabilia and paraphernalia of the current Chancellor's political campaigns. You see his initial slogan, Coruscant can do better. You see photos of him during his initial campaign, shaking hands, slumming it down. You actually see a picture or two of him, at the outside of outside of an extremely like seedy bar on the lower sections of Coruscant. You can see while the Chancellor himself has a very pompous and wide grin, the eyes of the people around him are highly annoyed with his presence. But yeah, this whole sort of like walk is like a monument to like him and his campaign and his righteous pursuit of making Coruscant better.
As they walk, Nala will kind of look back and say, this is one of those good situations to not talk about murder, criminal enterprises, the erasure of democracy, or anything of that matter. In fact, maybe I should do some of the talking here, and she'll look at Calliope and Kuma. And Chandra, actually.
What? I would never.
Surprised you didn't look at her first.
Honestly.
Kuma's, which is, I don't know what you're talking about.
Calliope would look over at Nala and be like, who, me? Say something inappropriate? Goodness gracious.
Nala just shakes her head and she'll keep on walking. She'll say, this meeting, we have to put our personal interests aside because we're doing this to save the galaxy. So let's focus on that.
Right, the galaxy. That's why I'm here.
Kuma just looks
Yeah.
over at Calliope and say, we're gonna get paid, right?
We better.
Do I hear this?
I don't know. Were you guys
Do-
trying to say that under your breath?
No.
No.
Now, here's the question. Do I have enough passive insight to be like, yeah, she's lying out of her fucking teeth? Like,
Nala will look back at them and she'll say, you'll find this business does not pay very good.
Chandra says, and that's why I don't particularly like this kind of business. Usually.
Yeah, but this kind of business. Wow. Why did I say it
Business.
like
Bees.
Business.
Business.
that? This kind of business keeps your business running.
Yes, indeed it does. Without that little parade of goodness, I can't very well do what I do in the shadows. You can do the talking. I'm not much interested in what they have to say.
Surprised we've been letting you in here.
She says they have no choice. I'd cut everyone down and walk in otherwise.
Nala just like shakes her head. Okay.
Chandra covers her mouth. Oops. No killing.
Oh god, she's been on it too.
Yeah, Nala just shakes her head, like clearly, like her shoulders are slumped. She's like, okay, and I guess I'll like knock on the door or whatever.
Oh no, it's a elevator. That
Yeah.
Oh right, okay,
Yeah.
so let's get in the elevator then.
pressing a button, you hear a very soft chime as it only takes a matter of moments before the elevator opens up into a sort of small circular sort of entryway for you all to step into. And as you all sort of like shuffle your way in, it shoots up, there only being one other destination on this elevator stop. That being the Chancellor's personal office. If you give me a second here, let me get this map ready. I thought I had it ready before, but it wasn't. I hate my life. You know how it goes.
Oof.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, that's never fun.
Yeah, you know how it is. Alright. That's cool. Alright. Yeah. 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 Oh, we need one last thing here. Boop. Alright, perfect. Excellent. Okay, switching over now.
Oh, a whole different map for this?
Yeah.
Wow.
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 So spoiled.
I know. So, exiting from the elevator, you all are greeted to a brightly red cushioned and carpeted room. It smells very nice in here. It's got like a very, you're not sure exactly the exact scent, but it has a waft of like tropical, like a sort of like tropical flavor to the smell in the air that is kind of offset by the amount of security that you see here. At all sides of you, you immediately see at all sides of you, you immediately see Republic soldiers armed and watching you as you will step out of the elevator. While your presence was expected, they still seem to be on high guard, cautious of the company in this group.
Wonder
But
why.
but as these looks and unnerving sort of like feelings even have a moment to start to swell, you all are beckoned over by a young receptionist standing behind a desk, a screen of a wide sort of like screen in front of her as she like has to poke her head out to the side to see you all. Oh yes, yes, Eula, please over here.
Okay,
You lot.
Alright.
that's us. You lot.
That's us, alright.
Yes, I see that you are the Chancellor's 445. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Oh,
Check
well,
Space watch. No.
you check your watch, and the time currently is like 5:05, basically, with like what the current space time is. All right, and she says, "We were beginning to expect that you weren't going to make it. I've had to push back so many things. You've completely put my whole day out of whack."
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. We got held up. Please, let us go in right away so we can get out of your hair.
Yes, just to verify, you are the hand's Nala, correct?
Yes, I am.
And this is, and she looks past you towards your Chiss companion. She says, "This must be the Chiss Delcor, the ambassador, correct? Is that you?"
Nodded. Nods. Yes.
All right. And oh my, the Sith? She looks past her. She says, "Oh," and she kind of like looks at the our three seedy females at the back, and she says, she whispers to you, Nala, and she says, "Which one of them is the Sith?"
Can I hear this?
Yeah.
Perception.
Chandra
you go.
points to Delcor.
No, Nala shakes her head. Some unfortunate company I am currently keeping. And she'll point out Chandra.
Oh,
Damn!
oh yes, that makes sense. Now, we have it written here that you only had two other guests with you. Who are they then?
You must have misread it.
Oh,
Nala puts
no,
her hand up to Chandra. No, you did not. These two women joined us on our escapades recently. They are not formally with us, but we heard that the Chancellor called for all of us, so they came along.
They weren't on the list. But seeing as you've already made my day as difficult as it has been, what's a little bit more for me? It's fine. Holidays are coming up soon. It's fine. She like types away at keys, and she says, "I better be given a huge life day bonus for this." As she continues to work, and she says, "All right, fine. I was able to adjust your meeting, and the Chancellor is waiting for you beyond. Please, I do ask." He gets talkative. "Please keep it brief. He has another meeting in 30 minutes.
Nala just gives her a blank stare and is like, okay, we'll try our best.
Oh, great.
And what, we're walking, like, behind her desk?
Yes, right behind her. The main sort of like doors automatically open up as you the receptionist has no idea how to respond to that as you all walk through. The doors sort of like automatically open as you approach, opening into this large, wide office space here. And let me reveal that. As you approach, you see now behind him, you can see the Chancellor at his wide sort of like oval, or not oval, like half circle desk, and this very large sort of like comfortable chair. But behind him is just a full sort of glass wall that just shows the entirety of Coruscant behind him. And as he sees you all approach, he gestures you all forward, and he says, "Yes, come in, come in." Again, as you move through, you notice that with each step you are closely and very strictly being watched by the security here. Let me see if I can. It feels a bit claustrophobic. Give me a second here. Yep. Almost there. There we go. Well, yes, he gestures you all in, motioning for you all to take a seat, and he says, "Well, now, wasn't expecting to be seeing you all so soon, but I've heard you've been busy since our little meeting." Oh, and he gets up from the chair as both Calliope and Kuma come in. He says, "New faces. Are they some of your people?" And she looks towards you, Nala.
Oh, no. They... no. These, ladies did help us with, the raid. Where were we? A warehouse?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a dock, but yeah.
These ladies were instrumental in us being able to discover and cease operations at the dock, though. So, here they are.
You don't say. Well, on behalf of the Republic, I am besides myself to thank you all for your help in aiding that terrible operation that was done under my watch. Please, have a seat. Do any of you need any type of refreshments?
No, thank you.
Yeah, Nala just shakes her head.
Chandra just moves to a seat.
Flappy's just looking around the room at all the guards.
Right, well.
Like, pick up her tail and start playing with it.
All right, well. If no one else is going to indulge, he goes and he presses a button on his table, and he says, "Lucinda, bring me that juice I like so much, please, and light on the ice. Thank you."
I like this guy already.
Diet Coke.
He says, "Well, before we get started, before he can even start, the doors open back up, and you see the receptionist come in with a single glass on a tray. As she moves past you all, she comes in, she sets it on his table, and he says, "Thank you, darling." She nods and she leaves out, and she returns some of the glances she got.
On her way back out, as she's returning those glances, Chandra says, "Oh, actually, I'm feeling quite thirsty now. Could I also have one of those, please?
She turns and she looks to you and she says, no, no problem, no trouble. Light,
thank you.
would you like, do you care for light ice or standard?
Chancellor says, "Oh, I couldn't trouble you to make it any different than usual. Just the standard is fine."
Oh, lovely. And she walks away. He takes a sip. God! Whew! That girl knows how to make a drink. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I heard you all have been dishing out some vigilante justice since you've been here. Now, I could have sworn this was...
I'll say.
I'll say. I could have sworn this was part of the problem with you and your organization, Miss Vong. You often work outside our laws, and though, again, I must state that I'm grateful. How does this look on my end if I don't punish such vigilance? It's here on our capital world of Coruscant.
Better do the talking.
Yeah, Nala nods. Like, I acknowledge, as I have before, Chancellor. My ways are a little unorthodox, but we came across this problem of dangerous weapons being trafficked, and not only weapons, but Sith artifacts as well. And we can't just stand by and let that happen when we know about it. The hand's whole deal is lending a hand where we can. And if you must punish me, you must punish me. But I feel like the fact that this issue has been solved is, more of a benefit to you than it is a point against you in the eyes of the public.
You see, as you were speaking, he's been kind of like leaned back in his chair as he takes dainty little sips of this iced drink, and
Pinkies up.
oh, of course, of course he's got the pinky up. And as you speak, the strange sort of like alien besides his desk to the left, you remember seeing him in the Senate chamber earlier as he spoke in a whispered voice to the chancellors during your court proceeding. He sits in like this sort of like hoverized chair. His legs are like completely covered in this sort of like hover chair as he sort of like turns to you all, and his gaze shifting from you all to the chancellor, and he says,
How long do you manage to keep them waiting, Price?
well, I like to have my fun. I figured I'd let them sweat a little bit. I don't get to do this that often. The alien by his side sort of shakes his head and he says, "Forgive my companion here. Allow me to introduce him. This is my vice chair, Anuba Noor, my right-hand man and the only one who I trust utterly and completely." His gaze shifts from the Chancellor to you all, and he says,
You are very well known to me. I am a fan of your organization, Miss Vaughn, and though I don't appreciate your methods, Miss Cassin, it is foolish for me not to be impressed by your growth and ferocity in your current position.
Aw, bitch. She gives him like a nod of acknowledgement for what he said.
He says, "Well, now, we've been thinking about this since your little trial. If this is gonna work, then your organization and the Republic need to be formally recognized as allies. If Anubanor here believes that what you've been saying is true, though some of our other senators still believe it to be hogwash. And while I am one of believing, while I am one of seeing, is believing, I can't ignore the instincts of my friend here. If he says you're a good egg, I trust him. As he says that, the door is open back in as the receptionist returns, drink in hand, as she places it on a coaster on the arm of the chair that you're in, Chandra, before giving you a sort of like dainty smile before walking away.
Chandra leaves the drink there.
He says, now listen. The Republic has been taking a beating. You know this. First with these Sith coming out of wherever they've been this whole time, ransacking our planets left and right. And then we have another crazy Sith doing whatever the hell they wanted. Taking away our, disrupting our organizations, disabling our outposts. And now, on top of it all, before we even had a chance to recover, now you're telling me we're being invaded by some unknown force from beyond our own stars. I gotta say, darling, so most of it went over my head. But I can tell when people are getting ready for a fight. And from what I understand, your organization has been the only ones mobilized to help our galaxy in this time. I'm not one for sitting on the sidelines. So I called you here to officially ask that the hand partners itself with that of the Republic against this tyranny of these I know, but what they're called again?
Volsk, I believe, is what they were called.
Yes, these. One more time. He just groans, but against this alien threat, nonetheless. Sorry. No offense. As he looks over to, as he looks over to you all.
Aliens.
Drugs are all
Nala-
aliens to me.
Yeah. Nala nods her head deeply and be like, it would be both an honor and a privilege to officially work alongside the Republic to fix this.
He nods and he says, good. This doesn't excuse everything we talked about in that meeting. I know some of your members are fugitive of the Republic, and I don't care if they have turned over a new leaf. They hurt my baby, they've got to pay. Okay? But we'll let bygones be bygones until we overcome this threat. I'll turn a blind eye to their association, their previous associations before, but so long as they're with you, and so long as we're at war, they're all right by me. But afterwards, I'm asking you that you provide your members with a Republic review, and any of them found wanting of significant crimes will be forced to do their time. Is that fair?
DJ, didn't they all get pardoned?
No, not all of them.
What?
Surely Chandra was pardoned.
No,
No,
Chandra
hell
was
no.
super not pardoned.
Super.
But I thought, I don't have it written down, I thought they had pardoned, the people of the hand. And that was, because they didn't help us. That was, their compromise.
Is that what happened?
I could swear that we got the people pardoned. Because, that was, the second thing that I went in for. I asked for help, and I asked for pardons for the people in the hand.
Hold on, I'll check right now.
We're ready,
Yo,
dude.
VHS.
We are ready.
We have the recording.
Vaguely remember. Yeah, I vaguely
Yes
remember
to the
some
first,
mention
no
of
to the second.
pardons.
It's the
No
first one.
help and
Battles.
no pardons.
The slaughter.
I also do not remember this man
first
having like an accent like that.
He didn't,
But I love it.
but he
Oh,
does now.
didn't. Okay, I'm not
Yeah,
crazy.
he didn't, but he does now. Yeah,
Okay.
well, he only pardoned some of the hand members. There was specific ones, I think, like, but not all of them. Not all of them is what I'm hearing in the recording.
Okay, so what did he like
So-
say when he pardoned then?
He says, hold on, I'll just, oh, by the way, for the people watching on stream, you can watch all our previous sessions at our YouTube video, or our YouTube channel at youtube.com/dicevibes. Uploads come 1 to 2 days after our live sessions, like today, except for last session, which is lost to time.
Oh my god.
Gone forever. Let's see here. Let's pull up the actual file again, because I closed it.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Attacks that are yet to come.
Let's see here. God, it's so weird hearing yourself in these recordings,
These
man.
powerful interests of
It's like right at the end, yeah.
proposal, Ms. Vaughn. The known associates of the hand be exonerated.
Oh no, he says,
Clearly, we can take their operations in your organization as a sign of rehabilitation.
oh yeah, no, he did pardon them. He
No
yeah,
take
he-
backsies.
yeah, he did pardon them. He said that the operations in your organization would be considered as being rehabilitation. Hey, bars, by the way. But yes, so yeah, they have already been exonerated. So that is stricken. So yes, if they've already been exonerated, then they're good.
Okay.
But he will say, well, now that we're all singing Kumbaya, there's just one other elephant in the room. You want to take this one, buddy? As he looks over to his vice chair.
Surely. As we continue to move forward with this, I brought to the attention of you, Miss Cassie. There is no way that the Republic could ever openly unite themselves with such a seedy individual. However, it is not beyond our recognition that if it was not for your information, more worlds would be lost to these foreign invaders. So, while we cannot offer you a public declaration of friendship, we will say that until this war is over, the Republic will stay at a distance while you handle your affairs and business. We understand that you have a close connection with that of the hand, and that you two will need each other in order to help all of us overcome this obstacle.
Chandra?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said that to me. I had stepped away to get water and use the bathroom. What was he saying to me? We need.
He's basically
No
saying
public.
that the Republic itself can't publicly ally with an individual like yourself. However, they know that it's because of you and your connections with that of the hand that you're going to be a necessary evil to fight this off. And they're saying that while you guys are dealing with the Vong, the Republic will not get in your way.
Okay. Chandra says, yes, I'm quite versed in these, and I like to think that I have been quite the asset to Miss Vaughn's hand, organization. Um, I'll continue to do so, and I appreciate that you all will see to it that I'm not hassled in this line of work.
He gives you a nod as the Chancellor speaks up and he says, I want you to know that this leniency has a limit. If we find out in any means that you are a danger to the sanctity of my people, we'll be coming for you. Full force. War or no war, you understand?
Understood, Chancellor. But I would never dream of doing anything like
Well, alrighty. I'll have you know I've served 2 tours.
Oh my god.
Served 2 tours. I'd be more than happy to dust off the old blaster. Isn't that right, boys? He kind of looks around to the guards. They don't say anything. He kind of just shakes it off as he finishes the rest of his drink and he says, now, to matters of war. I'm not going to lie, the Republic, we're belly side up right now. All of our, I won't say all, but most of our foreign outposts have either fallen or have been taken over in this short time. Because of that, we've reconsolidated, drawing our forces inward. And as such, we've left the outer worlds to fend for themselves against this invasion. Things are looking pretty bad, not gonna lie. Those worlds that don't fall to these invaders are being snatched up by others. We don't know who exactly. It could be Sith, it could be criminals, we don't know. But one by one, our outer worlds are falling. And if we are going to be able to fight this force full on and reclaim our galaxy as ours, we're gonna have to rebolster our allies. We're gonna have to get some better support. He looks to you, Nala, for a second, and he shifts his gaze to Delcor, and he says, I don't know how you did it, but if you were able to get a Chiss representative on your side, you must be quite the negotiator. And he nods, and he nods as he looks to Delcor, and he says, so how about it, son? Your people looking to get into this fight? I know you all like your box seats, but you and your people might not be able to sit this one out. Do you think they'd ever parlay?
Attempts are being made to bring the full Chiss ascendancy to bear against the Yuzhong Vong. Hopefully coordinating our efforts with the Republic.
I see. Well, until it's a guarantee, I'll ask that you can do this. I myself have no connection to the Chiss Assembly. For some reason, they feel like I don't mix with their hoity-toity society. Again, no offense, as he looks towards Delcor and Kuma. No offense. They say I don't mesh well with their sensibilities. Their delicate sensibilities, I should say. We butt heads a lot, is what I'm trying to say. But
You're having so much fun with this guy.
I love this guy. I love the Chancellor so much, man.
Oh man, that's good. So Delcor will say, many cultures are set in their ways and can be stubborn. The Chiss are no exception to that rule.
Stubbornness I get, please. You should see a Price family gathering. But we're going to need them and their technology and their forces if we're going to be able to fight this off. Our boys here in the Republic do it well. But I've met anyone as coordinated and calculated as the Chiss Armada. We're going to need those ships and those fighters if we're going to stand a chance of retaking the Outer Worlds. And to that note, nobody knows the Outer Worlds, as he like shifts his head quickly over to Chandra. Then you and yours.
You and yours.
Look at you.
Me.
Just looking at you right now, I can tell you're armed to the teeth. And we're going to need firepower like that, and I know you've got the connections. So, I'm going to have to ask you to contact somebody you know and get weapons for us and our military operations. Again, like I said, Republic's belly side up. This is just too ill-timed. Too many constant threats to our Republic has made us unstable. And though it pains me to do so, we might need to rely on some alternative means if we're going to find the credits to fund this damn thing. And he looks towards you, Chandra. He says, now I'm no fool, and I've read your records. I know about the few that you associate with, and I'm asking that you contact your contacts and see if you can get us some credits, some arms, and some muscle for this war.
Chandra says, I don't suppose that's too unreasonable for me to reach out. Forgive me for not knowing the scope of your military, but just how much do you think is necessary for them? You know, to like arm them and whatnot.
I just say that Anuba Noor speaks up and says,
What are you asking for exactly? Except prices or the amount of manpower needed?
Both. Surely I can't just say, I can't go around and ask for an unspecified amount of wealth or an unspecified amount of manpower or weaponry. We need a tangible amount, a goal.
well, war ain't cheap there, miss. How about you remind them that if we lose this war, we might lose everything. But if you're asking for a steep price, I'm not the numbers guy. Anuba? You see him sort of like shake his head for a moment as he begins to do his own bits of calculation. And he says,
While there are multiple variables, we're talking at least hundreds of millions of credits to arm our full defenses. As the Chancellor has said before, our military is stretched thin at the moment. A single strike force with our forces alone will be divided and scattered as we try to maintain our own core worlds. But with the aid of outside sources, mercenaries, extra equipment, monies, we might be able to bolster our defenses and thus reroute our troops back to the front lines. But this would cost an extraordinary amount of money, that which, unfortunately, our own funds cannot afford.
Chandra pauses for a moment and kind of contemplates things, and then she looks up and she says, very well, as I said, I'm more than willing to help out in all of this, as the galaxy is far in need of our help. She says, perhaps you all could arrange of a contact for me within the Republic, for the sake of delivering any supplies. I seem to hear of someone who recently climbed the ranks very effectively. What was her name? Leah, would you happen to know it?
they kind of like look at each other for a moment. I'm sorry, girlie. I have no idea who you're talking about. Ayla, Aaliyah, Anuba?
Anuba? You mean this guy?
No, I've not met any new political candidates that fit your description, but If you're asking to have a direct line to us, then I will be more than happy to be your direct link back to the Republic. I will be more than happy to share my information with you, and with any updates you have towards our war effort, I will be most happy to record and document for our ongoing partnership.
Fantastic.
It's going to be a rough one, I tell you. But I'm itching for a fight. And I want these Excuse me. I want these prickly bastards to know that if they're coming to take what's ours, they're not going to take it easy. But again, we can't do this alone. As much as I would like to say, much as I used to love saying it, the Republic just isn't the biggest stick at the playground anymore. And we're going to have to build ourselves back up so these bullies don't try us anymore.
Don't you try me, son.
And to that end, I'm willing to work with not only the Hand and Miss Cassine's organizations, but hopefully that of the Chiss as well. By the way, it's been worrying me. Your friends here. I'm sorry. I started getting into my mojo. You know, once I start going, I just don't stop. I'm not sure exactly who you two are. I don't remember meeting you all. Were you? Anubu, were they at the Senate hearing? He just shakes his head.
Oh, Kuma just, tilt her head and say, am I muted? No. Oh no, we're just, I guess, law-abiding citizens. Just want to help out.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
They asked for some assistance locating something regarding these Neodon people. We were just happy to help.
It does my heart good to see true patriots still at work.
God.
Kuma would do a little curtsy and be like, I try my best.
Young lady, if all of the Chiss had your patriotism, I'd have no fear about this war. Hopefully that spirit will rub off on them and they'll see that it's only together we're going to be able to stand through this. Damn. He kind of like leans back for a moment and he says, on top of all that, this talk of unifying and working together, it just pains me. As I'm sure you heard already. More worlds keep receding from the Republic. Again, it's my own fault. We've set the precedent. When danger started knocking on our door, I started locking up shop. Pulled our forces back in. And it seems like all of our core worlds are starting to do the same. And I got a feeling that Alderaan won't be the last one. So to counteract that, I want us to move fast, but careful. We have to make sure we do this right. Gather up our forces, gather up our allies, and show these sons of bitches that we mean business.
That's right.
Now,
So,
you said something about Neo Dawn. These are those smugglers, right? You all heard anything about them? What it is exactly they were doing?
I.
You wanna? You said we weren't allowed to speak, so if you want to,
Oh no! I said nothing about Delcor speaking. Delcor can talk all he damn wants.
I'm just making
oh,
sure.
Delcor
Okay.
can talk.
Oh, so Delcor can talk and I can't?
Yeah.
Oh
Delcor's
my
not
god.
a Sith or a criminal.
What do you mean?
He was was a janitor.
But he's a
you shouldn't have told
janitor!
me. He's an associate.
Hey, she doesn't know about my time with Zerka, so let's keep it that way.
Oh my god, poor Nala. Nala deserves better.
anyways. So Delcor will say, yes, the Crimson Dawn was the new reformed criminal organization from the remnants of the previous Crimson Dawn, who had operations throughout the galaxy. They seem to be under new management, and we found them smuggling heavy munitions out of the warehouse. Checks his notes. CJ, what section of Coruscant were we in at the warehouse?
Like the specific dock?
I'm just gonna say in the warehouse district.
Yeah. There you go.
In the warehouse district, we found the Crimson Dawn smuggling heavy munitions and Sith artifacts from Korriban.
Sith.
Yes.
There's that word again. What on earth would these thugs need with Sith artifacts?
We did not have the time to find out because shortly after we had secured the warehouse and neutralized the Crimson Dawn, the Neo Dawn, as they're now known, the Coruscant Quick Reaction Force police section with yours truly, Admiral, showed up to secure the scene and take over processing the crime scene, I guess. Yes. So we could not determine much of their motivations or what they were doing there. But those are the facts that we found out in our short time subduing them.
Well, surely we'll be able to get one of them to talk, right? A few interrogations, get me in a room with him. I'll get him to spill his guts.
Sadly, there were no survivors.
Damn! No survivors.
No, they seem to be rather motivated to not be taken alive.
Whew. Why can't we get that grit on our side? Well, gotta say I'm a bit disappointed.
As
If
Chancellor.
Curious. I don't know why. I don't know why these individuals would be interested in artifacts. Maybe, as you say, they've been reformed. Maybe whoever's been funding them has changed their perspective. It's something to keep an eye out for. The last thing I need is Sith running around my planet. Again, and he looks to Chandra, no offense.
Present
nod.
company.
Present company excluded.
Again, must be new management. Goals of new management.
This is troubling. I feel like there's something behind all this brewing. But I can't focus on that now. The only thing we need to right now is bolster our resources and gather our allies. Which, as of right now, I'll leave to you all. I'd hate to admit it, but you're probably the best well-connected organization or group of organizations we have at our disposal right now. And in a galaxy of everyone trying to look out for themselves, I'm asking you all to convince them to help. Remind them, as I said, we're only going to be able to get through this together. By the way, what happened with all that strange contraband? Did our admiral, did Fulk take that in? Do we have that?
I believe he relinquished the more dangerous looking artifacts to the custody of the Jedi Council.
To the
Yeah, Nala will nod in agreement. Like, I believe he took hold of any normal weapons and armaments, but the cursed Jedi artifacts did
Sith.
go to. Oh, sorry. Ooh.
Woohoo!
The
Cursed
cursed
Jedi artifacts. Let me tell you,
Sith
artifacts.
artifacts.
those Jedi.
Ooh, the cursed Sith artifacts are in the care of the Jedi Masters, as they are dangerous, and we're not quite sure what they hold.
Maybe there's a clue within those artifacts that could lead us to whoever is organizing these thugs. Anuba! Contact the Jedi Temple, see if they found anything. He nods and he goes,
Yes, right away, sir.
and you see him sort of like tilt his head to the side.
Yes. Yes. Do you require assistance? No. Yes, we will send them right away.
The communication he has closes as he turns back towards the Chancellor and he says, he has a panicked look and the Chancellor says, damn, I know that look.
Terrible news. It seems as though while being handled, a detonation was triggered by one of the munition crates retrieved from the smuggling operation. It released some sort of chemical gas that spread throughout the Jedi Temple and is affecting multiple Jedi as we speak. The Jedi themselves have contained the contagion, but things aren't looking well.
Oh my god. Okay. Nala will like just jump to her feet. Like, we'll leave it once then.
What?
Kuma's like, where are we going?
He says, right, of course. Keep us posted and remember what we've talked about. But please, the last thing I need now is anything happening to those Jedi. They're the only thing left that has any sort of, that brings any sort of respect to the Republic as it stands right now. They're our last saving grace. If anything happens to them, this war might be over before it even starts.
Think of your time. We must be going.
Yep. Nala, gives a quick bow. We'll take our leave, Chancellor, and she'll kind of gesture for everyone, and she's speed walking out of here.
Bows slightly, heads out.
Did Kuma ever drink that drink that I offered?
Kuma.
If not, Chandra's gonna accidentally knock it over.
Oh no,
Oh my god.
Kuma like licked it and then like drank the whole thing in one gulp, including ice.
Never mind.
Completely empty.
She's just munching on ice while we're all talking.
Launching.
Anyway.
Well, there's not that much ice because there was a lot of ice because it was regularly made.
Regular. Mm-hmm. Made sure she put that extra ice on there.
Yeah, Kuma would put the glass down and would be like, nice juice, and then like bow a little bit and just pop.
Chandra's gonna
Please tell me it was actually alcohol.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Dang.
No. You can't drink on the job. He's a Chancellor. Come on, man.
It just died.
He's the Chancellor of the Republic. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. All right. I was hoping it was like skim bantha milk. Gotta watch my figure.
Oh my god. All right. So, after the worrying transmission, Asib by Anuba Noor. I love that name, dude. You all head expediently to the Jedi Temple to assess and to help with what seems to be a terrible chemical accident. You guys want to make any stops along the way, or do you guys just want to fast track there?
Fast
We're just
travel.
going there. We're just going there.
Just want to fast travel? Okay.
I think along the way though, I can't remember how much we have filled Kuma and Calliope in on the situation.
At none.
So perhaps that was like a very confusing meeting for them. So I think like along the way, while they're like power walking, like maybe Nala will be like, okay, so here's the deal. The Yuuzhan Vong are coming. The world is going to end. Here's what they, she'll give them a rundown of like, like, this is what their weapons are like. They can destroy whole planets, basically. We're trying to fight them so that the world doesn't end. Now the Republic's going to help us, but we also need the Jedi to help us. So now we're saving the Jedi. So, like, at this time, in this, like, panicked power walk to the Jedi Temple, I think Nala will give a quick fill-in.
She's just like rambling a million miles a second.
Calliope's gonna look over at Chandra and be like, is she for real?
Chandra says, yes, I'm afraid she is. There is a very, very big threat.
And
What was that?
y'all aren't getting paid for this?
Chandra says, oh, I make money even right now. I get paid regardless.
You immediately get like a instant notification from Jazzy. Stocks have gone up 3%. Fuck it.
There it is. I just made even more.
How would you look at that?
Nala does say, if the world ends and stuff, nobody gets paid ever again. So that's payment enough for me.
Kuma just tilts her head and is like, that sounds awfully dangerous.
Chandra leans over and says, that's why I'm still getting paid regardless.
But I don't get paid, and my gear's not good.
Well, I'm sure once the Sith shows up to save the Jedi, they'll have to reward us. Right, Archbishop?
The Jedi have even less money than I do. Let's get to the temple, and then when all this is over, Chandra will show y'all how to open up your investment portfolio.
As an aside, Dokor says, well, I don't know. Lots of money in oh shit, I had the word.
Yep. You can do it, Delcor.
Lots of money in owning property, and that Jedi temple is extravagant.
They are basically a charity. Let's keep moving.
Maybe we could get them to give us the temple.
Maybe.
she just 4 speeds ahead. Fucking,
Yeah,
I'm done with
Kuma's
this
ear
conversation.
perks up about maybe they would give us the temple, and was like, oh, I
Yeah.
would like a temple.
There are some things I want to do, like before, because they said it went off inside the temple, right?
Yeah.
But they have it under, like, they have it isolated.
The contagion they were able to isolate.
Okay, so we are not walking through the doors and walking into poison gas.
Yes.
Okay.
The explosion happened, releasing some sort of contagion. They were able to contain it, but it seems as though some Jedi have been affected by it.
Okay, so yeah, we'll full speed, and then I have spells we can use before we go into it or while we're into it, kind of thing.
Okay. Alright, I'll put you guys right there. Hold on. This will be one of the few instances of fast travel I will ever allow in this game. Because normally I would just make you guys go back to that. You know how it is. But, I want to keep the momentum up.
Stinks.
This guy stinks! Okay. Alright. The grand hall of the Jedi Order is abuzz. You see as multiple Jedi seem to be in a panic, hurrying through these hallways as they have a numerous amount of tasks to deal with after this terrible accident. As you immediately enter, your presence is quickly noted as the hold on. I gotta remember everybody's name.
Take your time.
As before you see Master Corvus and his Padawan, the young lad Nico. As they see you all approach, they turn to you, waiting for you all to approach. as you approach, he's like, thank goodness you're here. I take it you all heard what happened?
Straight from the Chancellor.
So Corvus kind of like raises his eyebrow and he says, "You all were meeting with the Chancellor."
Nala quickly nods, and the hand just officially received Republic support for the war on the Yuuzhan bonds. So
Nico kind of like clenches his fist. Well, that's great.
Nala, nods again. It is great, but we have a pressing emergency here in the temple. It sounds like.
Corvus strokes his beard. I'm curious as to how you were able to pull that off, but yes, if you've heard, then follow me. He begins to lead you all through the temple. Nico at his side as they lead you. As he leads you, he talks. He says, the artifacts recovered by Republic security were brought here, as well as the munitions. It seems through our initial inspection that most of the Sith artifacts were nothing. Plain tapestries and pieces of artwork. However, some proved to be much darker. And as we began to further investigate, an explosion occurred, releasing some sort of pathogen from these artifacts. The other masters and myself are suspecting foul play. As I will reveal the rest of this.
You all identify what sort of pathogen it is.
He kind of like groans as you ask, and he says, "No, we haven't. It's unlike anything we've ever seen." As he walks up, you all see now they've made like a sort of like makeshift medical wing here, as multiple individuals and Jedi affected by this disease seem to be lying in beds, sort of regrouping. Amongst those infected you see, of course, Master Quilla Nu, as well as Master Shay Liao, who both seem to be everyone in these beds have been stripped down of like their ornaments and stuff like that, basically like sort of like beige, sort of like a patient garb as they are in these beds. You see that they are actually they're sweating profusely, and these reddish sort of like vein marks are appearing all throughout their body, and you can see it's giving them a great amount of pain as they twist in their beds. As you try to approach her, you're stopped. You're stopped by Kine, who puts a hand out and he says, "Wait, don't get too close. We're not 100% sure what this is or how or what's it even doing to them, but it's bad." Corvus steps next to Kine, or steps adjacent to Kine's side, and he says, "It's as if the Force itself is destroying them from the inside out."
Oh.
How terrible.
Nala will say, do you mind if I take a look? I'm not worried about going near.
He says, "I won't. Whatever it is, it does not seem to be physically contagious. Just be cautious. Nothing we've tried so far has worked."
Do you guys have 7th level spells though?
I am a Jedi Master.
Yeah, Are you level 20?
Of course, I have 7th level spells.
Okay, fine.
But by all means, try. I don't know. Maybe
If
you're
you want to
built
use a
different.
spell slot,
Yeah, by all,
use a
you know,
spell slot,
if
that's
you're
okay.
built different, by all means.
I would like to, I start taking out one of my medical kits and some of my minor medical examination tools, and I wanna see. So it says the force is eating them from the inside out, but is there anything physically left over,
So
from the
they have, like,
toxin?
red-
Is there?
Oh.
I can't do anything with the space wizardry, but if there's anything I can do to keep them from just rotting.
Okay.
Let me see what I can do. At least hold off their death, right?
Yeah. Roll a medicine check for me. The DC is going to be high. I just wanted to let you know.
Well, he's doing that.
Can I also do a medicine check?
Sure. Everybody can roll medicine if they want. What were you trying to do, Chandra?
I just want to see if this is something that if I recognize, or if I can kind of discern anything about it.
Ooh, okay. Give me a lore check.
Ooh.
Hold on. I thought I had a.
Oh, that fat 27 though.
Ooh.
Delcor?
Hold on.
Of course, why don't I have expertise in everything?
No. It's not that. There's something that was I added. I'm trying to make sure my medical skill looks kind of low, and I thought I had something that changes it to being intelligence based instead of wisdom based. Let me double check.
That'll do.
There we go.
You don't recognize it, Kuma. I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. Apparently, I have to do it myself.
There you go. Do it yourself.
Nah. Fucking Thanos, I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself.
Kuma would just whisper to Calliope and was like, "They're just sleeping. Why?"
Oh my god.
Poor, stupid Kuma.
Oh, honey.
Oh, nope, okay.
As Calliope and Kuma come by, you see Kine recognizes you two. And he's, I see they were able to meet with you all.
26 and 27.
Well, that's reassuring. I did not realize we were going to be hosting for the the broker. But yes, okay. With a 17, you don't really remember exactly what this is. There's a hint to you, not. You remember seeing it somewhere, probably not during your tenure with Darth Alia, though. It was in a book you might have read during some type of research. You can't quite pick it out, but a disease that sort of uses the Force to attack you. It's something that you've heard you might have heard of before, but you can't remember exactly what it is. With a medicine check, Delcor, I'm gonna assume your medicine is more on the medicine side, and your knowledge is more on the Force side. Is that how we're playing this?
I would assume so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I would assume so. Yeah.
Delcor, as you interact with Master Quilla, you realize her body is in a very chaotic state. It's as if you can equate what's happening to if your white blood cells just decided to murk everything. It's as if an essence to them, a constant to these Jedi. This constant thing that they always had that protected them is now actively trying to harm them, and their bodies just do not know how to respond. You think that applying a strong sedative to them to relax their body and their natural reaction, because what's happening here is the Force is constantly attacking the Jedi, and just off a basic instinct, and this is kind of mixing with what Nala's learning too, but what's happening is the force is attacking them, and their first instinct is to use the force to defend themselves, which is only making it hurt them more. Right. It's only making it worse. So you
inducing a coma.
Yes, medically inducing a coma would help towards minimizing the damage being done. Nala, you can feel their anguish. You can feel them like reaching out all around them, trying to find a safe harbor. Only for every time they reach out, they find more and more pain. It's painful to you to even sense. It's like this. It's like a man drowning, desperately trying to get to air. It is a terrible thing to witness and see. But with that conjoined information that you two were able to get, do you tell them this, or do you keep it to yourselves and you let them all die?
Yeah.
All right,
No, I'm gonna point to one of the nearest like medical aid looking Jedi's and be like, get me. So I start listing off a laundry list of stuff I'm gonna need, because Quillanu's not a human. There are some humans here, but there's also there's a Twi'lek over there. They're gonna need something different.
Yeah.
Quilla's gonna need something different. We need to put all of these people in a coma. So I start rattling off a list of sedatives to to make a cocktail to put these fuckers in a coma.
As you say that, Kind is just like, that's brilliant. Quick, you two with me, and he rushes off. He and these two temple guards link up together as they rush off. Just before they leave out, Nico next to Corvus is like, Master, I want to help them. Corvus just kind of groans and he says, go. And you see Nico quickly run after Kine as they go get the medical supplies needed to help with this this idea presented by Delcor.
Can I make a lore check from what little time, because while I did have times sweeping up the library, I would read some books as the janitor. So, is there any way I could read a book?
Technically,
or, do a lore check to possibly help out with the lore
technically,
side of
the only people who could do lore checks on this are you, Chandra, and Nala.
Ooh,
Right.
I'm gonna hit you with that lord check then.
18, okay.
Yeah, Chandra's just posted up against the pillar, contemplating, trying to remember where she read about this.
32?
There it is.
Delcor hits his mind palace and just pulls the book out, reads the whole thing.
Yeah, Delcor hits a
Remember that
Wait,
book? He just
I need
pulls
to
out
go
the
into my
actual-
mind palace.
Pulls out a metaphysical book that's a word-for-word copy of the actual book.
This sickness, you can't, even with a 32, you can't find the name for it, but you remember reading it. It was on a book that you read while in the Sith Academy on Korriban. During your exam, while you all were searching for information about the tombs, you remember skimming it. It was an ancient sickness that was concocted through Sith sorcery. And while the origins of such a disease have been lost, the information, the access to that information, was not granted to you. It piqued your interest a bit while you were researching information about the tombs and what they were and who these tombs were for. It piqued your interest, but the information about the further information about this disease was restricted to you, and you found that it was only given to the highest level of authority at the temple. As you guys come to these realizations, as you think and as you take your moments to reflect, Corvus says,
Well, hopefully with this, it'll buy us some time until we can figure something out.
I need access to the Jedi Archive.
He kind of like sneers at you and he looks and he says, I'm sorry. We don't just give out access to our archives. Typically that's for, Jedi.
Jedi. But I have the unique opportunity of reading a lot of texts and information from the Sith Academy on Korriban during some escapades in the past. And I remember some information about something pertaining to what this might be. Do you guys have the original container or whatever object caused this? I could help narrow your search down should you guys actually have any ancient Sith tomes, I guess. Now, I may not be able to read the books, but I could point you in the right direction if I could examine the original offending artifact. And yeah, maybe you won't grant me access, but we'll just trying to help as I can.
Corvus kind of raises his eye as he strokes his beard. You quickly realizing that this is one of his quirks. As he looks to you and he says, the artifacts, whatever could have done this was probably lost in the explosion. The only one that was able to survive the explosion and wasn't affected was that of Master Kine. It was through his quick actions that we were able to even contain this contagion as best as possible. If it wasn't for him, it would have spread throughout the entire temple. As for the rest of the artifacts, everything that was required was given to our historian, Magi Soon. If you have any other information about, if you require any other information about said artifacts or anything about them, you would have to speak with her. And if I know Magi, even in these times, you'll find her in the Jedi Library. But I understand that this is a delicate time. But I ask that you all respect this place and our traditions, and you listen to Magi. The library is her jurisdiction, and I ask that you don't go snooping around unless she gives you permission. I'm trusting you all since you have a former member of our organization with you, as he looks towards Nala. And I trust her enough to keep the rest of you, as he looks around, particularly at Chandra, in line.
Calliope, Kuma, could you please assist Nala with these Jedi's treatment as I hopefully try to find some answers?
Sure thing, dear.
Oh, you want us to put them in comas?
Yeah. Do you think you can handle it?
Oh, yeah.
As you say that,
A little bop on the head,
as you say that,
Someone just tilts her head and says, sure. Better killing than healing.
Me and Calliope will do it.
Just follow Nala's orders. I learned a lot of good things from her back on Dantooine.
Good.
as you all as you all are given your assignments, Kine and Nico return with medical supplies of different sort of mixtures to induce this, of sedatives to induce these artificial comas to help the individuals afflicted with this sickness, and they go out to apply as guess the rest of you. No, it's not COVID. It's worse than COVID.
It's Omicron.
Yeah, it's Omicron. Oh my god. But you all agree to stay and help administer the sedatives while Delcor goes to speak with Magi.
I'm wondering if I don't know if it'll be more of a hassle or if I don't know. It'd just be interesting to bring Chandra along.
Okay? I'm gonna say right now, Nala's not letting Chandra go off to the Jedi library while she stays. Like, yeah, I think Nala would like side-eye Delcor and let him go off on his own.
Would Nala be more concerned about people dying, or more concerned that Chandra might look at some books? There's another Jedi Master there. They could stop me.
They're not gonna die, and there's other people who can put them in comas. No, Nala would not let the two of you go off on your own to terrorize the poor Jedi librarian.
I want to see some rolls to determine whether or not anyone here dies from Nala's negligence.
Oh my god.
While this is happening, can I do one more? Nala deserves better. Can I do one more, check or something on these sick dudes, CJ, before they go in their coma?
What are you trying to do? Like their sense of mind, their medical state? Like, what do you mean?
I'm wondering, like, basically, is this a force power?
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus. Roll insight. Oh my god, you high level motherfucker. Alright, so with a 29, as the medication is being passed around and you're about to administer it to this poor afflicted Jedi before you, you just sort of reach out, extending your influence to him, trying in any way possible to calm him. And as your influence spreads, it sort of begins to wash over him. And you can see for a second, his body begins to calm as your influence flows over him. And the calm, as a stillness finally comes to him, you feel a heat, a gnawing in your mind as slowly whatever it was on him begins to encroach onto you. You immediately, you immediately.
Oh, I wanted to know if it was a force power.
You immediately shut yourself off from the connection, and you can see as you do so, the pain immediately rushes back into him as he starts to convulse and spit in pain, and you realize that whatever this is, if this is some type of technique, it is of the cruelest means. Whatever it is, it was definitely something. Definitely something that how should I put this? That had like. How do I put this? How do I put this? It's something not unnatural to the Force. It's not something. It's not like a. I don't know how I put this. It's not a conventional like power, but whatever this is, it's just a pure sort of sickness. And through your interaction with him, you can tell that it is specifically targeted towards Force sensitives.
Like, could I try dispel magic?
Sure, you can try it.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll whip out like, we shouldn't have any other fights today, right? I will do a 7th level force suppression.
Wow.
7th level Force suppression. Concentrating your influence, you try to use the Force to target that heat, that bite that you felt. You said it's a 10th level spell? What?
Get to roll for it.
You try to target this heat, this bite that is that you felt as it began to like try to overtake you, and you can find the sections of it on him, and as you do so, as you begin to like close your fist and neutralize these instances, you can feel that as the palm of your hand closes, as you grip your fist, it eats away at your influence. It seems as though Force suppression would not work on this.
Can Calliope do an insight check to see if she sees anything?
Sure.
What you're telling me is I can't 7th level spell my way out of this?
No, you can't. 24 insight. Calliope, it's strange for you. The Jedi have always been like this, almost beyond like they you never really considered them to be people before. They were always just like this constant force on Coruscant and in the galaxy as a whole. And seeing them here and what could arguably be their lowest, sick, scared, worried, panic. You've seen faces like this all the time, and it confirms to you that with all their power and all their influences, they're just people, and you know people. So, Delcor, are you going to the library? What's happening here?
Going to the library.
Going to the library. Going to the library.
Let's go, Delcor.
Chandra sneaking off to the library.
No.
Chandra, if you are trying to dip out with Delcor under the nose of Nala, while she was using
Master Corvus.
True, and Master Corvus.
He just said he trusted us.
No, he trusted Nala to keep you guys in line. However, if Nala sees you and says she doesn't want you to go, then Corvus is gonna listen to Nala and try to keep you from going, right? But Nala just tried to use Force suppression to heal this sick man. So while she's doing that, I will say that gives you an Yes, I will give you an opportunity to sneak off. So roll stealth.
With advantage, because she was distracted.
No.
I would say that in the current state of everything that's happening right now, the only person who's probably nobody is fully focused on you. Corvus would definitely always have an eye on you, though, even in the midst of all this. And he's kind of just fucking it up for you. If he wasn't here, then yes, because Kine is over there emitting a sedative to Shay Lao.
That's fine.
You know, Nico is Nico.
It's cool. We got this.
Yeah.
We got this.
Go
Check
ahead
it
and
out.
roll stealth. 24 stealth. Nala, what is your passive perception?
Don't ask me questions like that.
Huh?
I'll tell you what. It's probably 21 like me.
What is your passive? Okay. if then after you administer this this aid, you kind of take a sigh, now confirming that at least for now you do have Delcor's idea of the induced coma, and you go for the supplies to administer, following that of Kind's aid for the specific individuals who need like an extra dosage because they're not all human. And as you do so, you look out of the corner of your eye towards the pillar. You saw Chandra, and she's gone.
Okay. Are her and
Away.
Delcor both gone?
Delcor had already walked off. While you're doing your force suppression stuff, Delcor
Okay.
made his way off to the library.
Okay, and now okay.
And now Chandra's gone too.
Yeah,
To the far right, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Nala will perk up, then turn to Calliope and Kuma like, where'd Chandra go?
Kuma shrugs and was just like, while you were stretching out your hand?
Sure,
Oh,
where did he
where?
leave to?
Somewhere.
Huh? What?
What did you say, Calliope?
Calliope will just say, well, I'm sure she's around somewhere.
Oh
Just
my
shrug
god.
My
it
god.
off.
Nala just sighs. She like, have I finished dosing this man?
Yeah, sure. I'd say like
So-
you finish up administering him. His body calms as he falls unconscious. Another patient needing your aid.
Okay. Nala will then like pause and walk. Master Corvus. Chandra's gone.
You lost.
What?
She puts like a finger to his face, like I was putting that man in a coma.
She was just. What do you mean? She was just.
They sound like Sith.
He looks to you.
Comas?
He looks to you and he says. He points a finger at you and he says, "The Sith is your responsibility. Find her. I'll take care of things here."
Kuma was just like, I'll go fine.
Okay, yeah. Nala turns around like, you two, stay with me, and then let's go. Nala won't fuck around. I'll locate person on Chandra.
Ooh.
Oh damn, dude.
Dang.
So, here's a question. Can
Yeah.
you feel, since this is a force power, can I feel the influence of her force trying to locate me?
No.
Or her influence through the
Un-
force
Unless
power? Okay.
unless it says like, because basically this is, I'm going to associate this as scrying, right? And you don't feel a person scrying on you unless you have like a specific thing that lets you do that, right?
Ooh, I would argue, I forget what force power it is, but I think it's not force camouflage, but it's like the force version, hiding your force.
Oh,
presence.
first,
There-
yeah.
If
Force cloak.
If she had that, yeah, force cloak. If she had that cast on herself to like change, the aspects of her outwardly projecting force signature, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I would argue that yes, she would have some difficulty finding Chandra, but I don't think Chandra did that or is actively doing that. So I mean, all depends on how you want to play this out. If you have that ability, Chandra. I
Yeah, I don't think so.
don't know.
Force immunity.
You don't know when I cast it though.
I could just do it. That's fine. You can find me. It's whatever.
Yeah. So okay.
If I'm being sneaky, I think it would make sense, as I know that you can do this type of stuff. But it's
Do
fine.
you though?
can find
You've
me.
spent quite some time away from her.
Yeah, but I also spent quite some time with her and her ability to literally track people even through the ground. Like,
That's
But it's
true,
fine.
That's
it's
a
fine.
screwy
No, it's
thing.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
She knows I'm over here somewhere. There.
So we will say in order to here's a question. Do you reveal yourself to Delcor when you reach the library?
That
You don't have to.
is a good question.
Because if you want to know my passive perception, I'm sure you can guess it.
Oh, I'm sure it's not that high.
With a wisdom score of 13, I'm sure you can guess it.
She would linger a bit behind him. She's not like, obviously not trying to look suspicious as she walks over here. Look normal, but not be detected right away.
Right. You know.
Just kind of walk
You're-
in incognito.
You were trained on averting gazes when you wanted them, and being here in a temple of Jedi is no different to being in a marketplace. You know how to subtly manipulate those around you in order to be unseen, and as you do this, following behind the steps of Delcor, as he steps into the Grand Jedi Archives, quickly, you see him like speak to one of the young Padawans, Junie, who he asks where her master could be, remembering that Magi was her master, and she says that she's just beyond. She said she had been interested in the temple's records, though Maggie kind of laughs at it, saying that she kind of laughs, saying, this. She wonders why she would even look for the information she is right now, because she would have known this plenty of time. Already knows it, but I guess she wanted to check something. And she points you off in the direction, and you see as Delcor leaves from Junie's presence and starts heading towards Maki. And as Delcor starts to speak with Magi, that is when Nala, you cast your locate creature spell. You realize she's still within the temple, and you get a bead on her location. And with Calliope and Kuma at your side, I take it you go after her?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sprint or anything, but yeah, I'm just gonna
Moving
go
with
towards her.
purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something we've learned in the military: how to move with purpose.
Yeah.
Delcor, as you hold on, I wanna do. Give me 1 second here. Okay. As you get to the head of this aisleway, you look down and you see Master Magi-san as she pulls a piece of it looks almost like glass from the archives here. As she pulls it out, you can feel her eyes close as she pulls it out of its socket with the force, and she pulls it into her hands, and she places her hand onto it. Fascinating. So much more to learn. And you see as she you see as she does that, she lifts the glass up with the force again, putting it back into its socket. As she notices your presence, she turns to you and she greets you with a grin. Good to see you again, my boy. You said you want to roll insight?
Yeah, I was like, just from that statement alone, so much more to learn.
Go ahead.
I've seen that. I've heard that. I've seen that in many libraries across the galaxy. That's not the tone of somebody who's like, oh, that's cool, that's gonna help me. This is really gonna help me do some evil shit.
It's gonna help me fuck shit up.
yeah, that's what I just heard.
All right, roll insight. God, you fucking high level ass characters, man. Jesus. Okay, 25. Okay. God, I remember when you guys were like, do I pass with a 10? Oh my god.
Oh,
Do I pass with
I
a
remember when
7?
Those were
I
those
remember
were
when
dark
Nala
ages.
fucking died.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy stuff, man. Okay, but
All right.
25 insight. The woman before you is the Jedi you met earlier, Magi. Something's off about her, though. Before she seemed a bit stoic, right? But now she seems a bit more I don't know, it's weird. She has a bit, maybe you can, it's not as severe as like wanderlust, but it is, she's much more she's got a lot more emotion on her face. A very sort of like the grin that she gives you is, it's not insincere, but it puts you on edge almost. It's
Almost
like
zealous.
yeah, kind of. And I wouldn't say zealous. Zealous is a little bit too harsh, but it's just a bit unnerving.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what you get for 25. She says, "My, I was not expecting to see you here. Fascinating."
Yes.
Can I hear
What with
her
the
from here
current-
at all?
Oh.
I'm just asking if I can hear. I'm not.
Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to hear. Yeah, you'd be able to hear.
Delcor is going to say, well, with the current state of events of unknown Sith artifacts, I was hoping to find some information that would help us here in no better place than the Jedi Library.
She breathes. She takes a deep breath, and she says, "State of events. Ah, yes. The Jedi are dealing with this sickness. I regret to inform you, my boy." As she pulls another of these collections of data from one of these panels, she brings it into her hand. Her eyes close before they open again. As she like senses the knowledge within, she opens her eyes and she says, "Nothing within these records, I'm afraid, will be of any help to you."
You're telling me you don't have any information on ancient Sith, I don't know what you would call them, Sith masters, or I guess, I don't know. Like, yeah, they had to be Jedi at some point.
She smiles as she levitates the disc, placing it back in its section. She says, "The records here are incomplete.
Aren't they always?
But just because the Jedi does not have them does not mean I do not. I am a bit hurt that you would even doubt my knowledge."
Red flag. Red flag.
As I cannot speak to the depths of your knowledge, I would assume it's vast, being the principal librarian of the Sith library.
Sith library.
Sorry, Jedi library. I'm not doubting your knowledge. I'm sure you have vast amounts of knowledge, but jeez, what are the Sith temples that I came across on Korriban? I about? There was Marco Ragnos. There was.
Oh, do you say this out loud?
Yes. Yes,
She
I do.
says,
I'm trying to narrow down the which Sith it was most closely related to, because there was 5 tombs. Yeah.
yeah. You say that. She says, Marco Ragnos, Ajunta Paul, Warb No.
Yes. As I'm getting more and more kind of like, not suspicious, but just a little like, huh.
I'm glad to see.
Good to know your enemy, I guess. Or ancient enemies.
After all that has happened, I'm glad to see you are still educated.
Delcor freezes.
Oh.
He freezes and then tries to act natural again. She's most. I'll take a step forward.
Hold on, I have to pause the music. There's a sort of instant recognition with you now. With the insight you rolled earlier now, her mannerisms, her tells, her dialect, it starts to click something in you. And she speaks and she says, I find it a blessing that this flesh I have also shares a thirst for knowledge. I think I'll do well here amongst the Jedi and their secrets. While it is surprising to see you here, it tells me much, my boy. Hopefully we can become better acquainted. She kind of like tilts her head to you, and she roll insight one last time for me. Yes.
Okay. Advantage, disadvantage, normal.
Normal insight.
Okay. Make sure.
20.
Can I also get in on this as I'm watching?
Yeah,
listening?
because you're listening. Yeah. 29. With a 20, that feeling only grows. Something is unsettling, and it's like at the cusp for you. Chandra, though, Chandra, you feel a bead of sweat drop down from your neck as you realize what this is. While Delcor can't do so, you feel her influence slowly rippling out from the Force, and you recognize it for who it really is. Someone who's supposed to be dead. You saw her die. The feeling of Lord Merritt from the Sith Academy.
Yep.
I always did like her.
I enjoyed her company.
Yeah, Barry was cool. I love Merritt. Yeah.
Okay, wait. When so breaking conversation.
Yes.
What's your questions there, Chandra?
So my original question was gonna be really just leading up to me doing an insight check. You know, saying if I recognize all these differences and whatnot. But now that it's pretty much already determined.
Out in the open. Yeah.
She looks to you, Delcor, and she says, is that why you're here? To figure out a cure for those Jedi
You can't help them. No one here can.
Oh, and why is that? I know why I can't help them.
She
But
says,
why can no one else?
because they don't know where to look. But I do.
Uh-huh.
She, oh, go ahead.
Is that where to look on a previously traveled planet for both of us?
She smiles and she says, no.
Hmm.
You know by now, I'm sure. And she smiles and she says, Korban is nothing more than rubble now. The deception of Soren and his children has all but destroyed the remnants of my master's esteemed place of learning. And because of you, and she kind of like looks behind her shoulder.
Chandra will step around the corner at that
And
point.
because of you, we have no master to rebuild for. In a way, you've freed us. Our prodigy student returned, Miss Cassine.
I'm flattered you remember me. What's the person she's imitating? This librarian. What's her name again?
Magi.
She says, "I'm flattered you remember me, Jedi Master Magi, or perhaps I should call you by your real name, Merit."
She smiles. It has been some time. I thought myself lost forever in that accursed artifact you retrieved from that temple. Mind prison, they called it. I must say that since regaining this flesh, it has saddened me to learn about the fate of my own. Bisected by Soren's spoiled child. Well, the fool.
For what it's worth. Oh.
She'll say, well, the fool who took my body had it coming anyway.
So that's how you saved yourself.
It saved is relative. I was sort of rooting for him, honestly. An associate of yours, I believe he was.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say this, CJ.
Really gotta dredge up the dead, man. You really gotta dredge up the dead.
Chandra says, "When I sensed a familiar presence in that prison, I must say, I thought it was someone else. But now that you have said all this, I think I'm beginning to piece it together. The one who took your body."
She shrugs and she says, it's of no consequence now, from what I hear. My body, as well as the individual who inhabited it, is long gone. And here I am, with a new lease on life, a second chance to gain as much knowledge as I can. As she says this, Nala, Calliope, and Kuma, you all would have entered into the library at this point. Looking around, you guys would easily recognize Delcor, who's standing like at the edge of this like aisleway here, as he speaks to someone. He seems to be speaking to someone further down in the aisle. Do you approach?
Yeah, Nalago just. Is my like locate person
Chandra!
on?
Huh? Well, yeah. I mean, it would probably end by the time you get here. You know.
Okay.
You know she's
Okay.
Right here.
Alright, yeah. Nala just like walks right up, like, Delcor, is Chandra there with you?
I hold up a hand, yes.
Yeah, you see
Conversation.
as you come up to him, you see
You see, in the middle of this aisleway, Master Magi-san, as she pulls another of these datacrons from...
Holocrons.
No, datacrons.
If she's using the Force, it's a holocron.
No, she's using the Force to pull them off the shelves.
Ah.
Yes.
But okay, this might be a mechanical thing in the Star Wars. I thought datacrons needed something. You plug it in. It's a hard drive. A datacron is a hard drive. You plug it in something else so you can read the data on it, right? However, holocrons are Force activated.
It's not important.
It's whatever. You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I love the mechanics of Star Wars. Anyways,
They're datacrons.
Fair enough.
Holocrons are kept. The holocrons of the Jedi Temple are kept behind closed doors. These are accessible datacrons. While yes, most cases, yes, you need to have an interface to interface with the information on the datacron. But it seems that this person does not need that.
Interesting.
So as another datacron leaves from its placement into her hands, she smiles, and past Magi, you see Chandra on the opposite end. And as Magi sees you, now she smiles and she says, oh, charmed to see you again as well. What a glorious reunion this has been.
Nala scrunches up her nose like, Master Magi? A glorious reunion? We saw you yesterday.
She just chuckles and she says, yes. The older you get, the older you get, the longer these days seem. I'm sorry. I assume you too are here about this bit of business.
No, she's here to retrieve that one, pointing behind her.
Oh? Yes, right. Guess it wouldn't do for a Sith to just be waltzing about the Jedi Academy, or the Jedi Temple, now would it?
No, it wouldn't. I suppose that means something must be done about that, don't you think?
She
unclasps her saber from her bag, through the Force.
She just smiles as she puts the Datacron back, and she says, I was just about to tell your friends here that I know the origin of a sickness similar to this, or rather, I know where you could possibly find a cure. The only place. Just so long as...
Don't send us back to Tython. Don't send us back to Tython.
Just so long as we have an understanding. All I wish to do is to be a chronicler of knowledge and history. I have no allegiance to that, but that of knowledge in these treasured history here.
Chandra says, oh, sorry, go ahead.
To teach and to share said knowledge to those who wish to know it, much like how you all need this bit of information. I hope that we all can continue to work together in this then.
Do I get a sense of what's going on? Because this is the most unnormal thing for
Sure.
a person to say.
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to roll for it, or?
Yeah. Anybody who wants to roll insight can roll insight here.
Okay.
Yeah. I honestly believe her, though.
You don't need a... Jesus fucking Christ, you rolled a 30? God damn, that's a...
Okay. So for Calliope, Kuma, and Nala, who just got here, shit seems weird. Shit seems super weird. This person, you don't know. She freaks you out. The way she talks, it's almost otherworldly, and it's very unsettling. She ain't right. It's like
That boy ain't right.
she ain't right. Nala though, you feel something. It's like a quick like twinge. You're like, what? You get like a sense in the force, like what? Like, no. As if like for a moment there you felt something, just slightly dark, coming from this master. It lasts for but a moment, and you're kind of like, what was that? Chandra.
Must have been Chandra.
Chandra, having been here previously, you know, Merritt's intentions were always that of being a chronicler, a historian. If she says she means no ill will, she means no ill will. You know for a fact that all she probably wants to do is just go through the archives here in the Jedi Temple and just learn everything that there is to learn here. You also know that if she tells you she knows what to do about this sickness, she's not lying.
I figured. Yeah, I figured everything you just said was probably the case.
Yeah.
After Chandra listens for a moment, she'll, clasp her saber to her back again, and she'll walk forward and she'll say, "Then I trust you hold no ill will for what I did to your former master." And not loud enough for the others to hear it, but like when she's up close.
She just shakes her head. It's misguided. She ended up. I have no ill will towards you. But alas, I think I know how to help you all. And she reaches for another datacron on a higher shelf that floats down. And she closes her eyes as she places her hand onto the cube. An ancient sickness born of dark sorcery. Its origins on that of the witch moon of Dathomir.
Yes!
Oh shit!
Yes! Oh my god, that was the only place I could think of.
The ancient sisters' dark arts used against the Jedi in ancient times. There you will find your answers and your cure. But I must warn you, as she opens her eyes and the cube flies back to the place it was, the witches of Dathomir hold a grudge against our organization and its associates. I do not think their first instinct would be to help you willingly.
I'm gonna point at, I'm a little confused. I'm gonna point
I'm
at
assuming.
Chandra. I'm gonna point. Her institution? And then I'm gonna throw a thumb back, or her institution.
She
Pointing a thumb back at Nala.
she thinks for a second. She holds up two fingers and then she crosses them and points to both. And she says, "While the Jedi and the witches have done battle before, they hold no love for that of the Sith as well. They see your kind as a perversion. Brutes. No offense."
None taken.
Huh.
Chandra says, "Well." Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have something else? I thought you were starting to talk.
No, I was just gonna thank her for her. Thank her for the information.
Yeah. Chandra says, Huh?
I'm gonna attempt to be normal and.
What'd you say,
bow and head
Calliope?
out.
Calliope wants to do a mood check to check this crazy lady's mood to see if she's like happy at the thought of everyone dying,
Oh,
or like
oh yeah, yes. Okay, I forgot you had this
Ooh.
cool ass ability. Okay. So yeah, so roll
I
your
wanna move up.
so roll your insight with advantage. Yeah, you do need to be closer. But roll your insight with
every
advantage.
time I move, the whole map moves.
You said every time you
okay,
move,
okay.
the whole
I-
map
I can do
moves.
that. One sec.
Yeah.
Fucking Gunner gave you
Must
a
be.
busted ass setup. What's wrong with you, Gunner?
Yeah, knockoff version of Roll 20. It's Roll 21.
For fucking
Row 21.
no, it's just roll 20 with one L.
It's actually roll20.com.
.com. Hey, don't type that in. All right, if you guys are watching the stream, don't type in roll20.com. I'm not liable to whatever that sends you to.
All right. Cool.
Oh my, oh shit.
Just thinking about it.
Yep, you got
Gets you worse.
All right. So yeah, you
All
can.
right, sorry. A insight check with advantage.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool.
Ooh, 22. She's poised, calm. While, again, your earlier insight, she kind of creeps you out, unnerving, but she seems confident in the knowledge that she's given you. She doesn't seem like she's pulling it out of her ass or anything like that, and she seems extremely calm about the situation. Almost kind of disturbingly so. Like, no, she doesn't seem like, I know you were like looking to see if she was like super hype about people dying, but as a Jedi Master, which is what you assume her to be, she seems really calm about the prospect of like, if they don't get this information, people would be dying.
Okay.
I guess with that, Chandra just says, well, I hope you enjoy your research here, and that we can have a very mutually beneficial relationship going forward. She'll come back, she'll turn to Calliope and say, come, I'm sure Master Maggie Sin has much to research. And she'll just walk right on past.
As you begin to walk away, Maggie's Padawan, Junie. Master! I finished doing that research you asked me for. I put together a whole list for you. Why did you need to know about that? Is this a test? Are you playing a prank on me, Master? I just did this last week. Oh, child. I just want to make sure that it sticks in that noodle of yours. Don't worry. I'll look over your research in a moment. Just as soon as I see our associates here out. And by the way, young one, wish them luck. They travel not only for our order, but I assume our entire galaxy. She nods and she bows to you all. She says, well, if the Master thinks you're the ones who can get it done, then I believe in you too. You all be safe wherever you are going. And know that we believe in you all. May the Force be with you on wherever you go.
The Force be with you.
And she like goes over to Nala for a second. She says, here. And she holds out a it seems to be a bit of Yorick coral. Excuse me. There we go. It's in a spiral sort of like shape with a almost like pointed tip. And it's on the loop of a necklace. She hands it to you and she says, if you, people were talking while you were gone, and, if you see Ara again, could you give that to her for me?
Nala smiles and, like, you know, puts it in her pocket or whatever, and she'll nod and say, I'll make sure it gets to her.
Did you say Yorick Coral?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Why does she have that?
That's not part of your
Okay.
story. That's part of
Oh,
theirs.
Got him.
This is crazy.
Don't worry yourself about it.
TJ, you can't keep doing this. It's too good.
All right. Magi waves a hand to you all, wishing you all luck on your travels. A destination in mind, as you all regroup and gather. What do you guys do now that you have this information?
Head back to the masters by the
Well, I
affected
think
Jedi.
when we all get together after that, I do kind of lean into, like, Delcor and Chandra and ask, like, that was very strange. Is everything okay?
She would have. I just typed this now, but she would have said it before you asked that.
Oh yeah, no.
Chandra says, she just didn't take very kindly to a Sith perusing her records?
Library.
Archives, that's the word I wanted.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't expect Chandra to show up, and that got a little tense.
Okay, well, let's go tell the masters then.
All right.
Oof.
I wish Nala had better friends.
What's wrong with your friends?
It's we'll get to that. We'll get to that because
We'll cross that bridge later.
honestly, yeah, no, honestly, that's not actually such a terrible thing.
It's probably better. With the way that they describe Maggie, it's probably, for our sake, as far as getting information, it's probably better.
That's very true.
More-
Here's
Oh, the more imperative for Nala.
More imperative
Your
to what?
moral imperative.
moral imperative to what?
You can't let us threat that. This woman's been body snatched. You gotta tell somebody. Wait, what?
What?
Hold on, hold on.
As you
Slow down.
as you all return over to the medical area, you see joined with Master Corvus is Master Teak Quoldo, the 7-foot tall fucking
I
Jedi
thought
Master who
I thought it was
hates.
the evil guy from Rebels.
Oh my god! You thought it was the fucking Grand Inquisitor showing up?
He looks like. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing here?
That's Master Teak Quoldo, the Bane of the Dark Side, the Eliminator of Sith. Okay, he
I couldn't
Alright.
remember where this was.
he was in the Jedi Council when you guys first came here.
Alright.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. His whole description was he was as tall as you were, sitting down. He's a tall man. But no, the master. Yes, he's very tall.
He was definitely there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was. I remember him now. But,
What?
You know,
That was so
there's all
good.
these Sith running around. I thought it was, oh, another evil guy. Here we go.
All these Sith running around.
Oh my
like
god.
roaches, I tell you.
You watch as the masters overlook their sick brethren. You see as the tall and looming Master Quoldo turns to you all and he says,
So the Sith returns. We should slay you here. No doubt this is your treachery. It's polluting our temple. We should have never let you in here. Master Qualdo, please. I understand your frustration, but we can't blame the Sith. She wasn't even here.
It's worse, actually.
Worse.
Yes.
How so? Kind says, as he sort of like wipes his hands as he comes over after administering another dose of sedative to another patient, standing beside his fellow masters, eager to hear your report.
So, I'm sure you may know that the Jedi and the Sith are not the only two Force users in the known galaxy.
You see,
I want to gauge a reaction from all of them.
You see-
Everybody's like,
or they're like, "No, the
You
fuck
see,
it's
you
not
see,
great."
you see Qualdo kind of like fold his arms. You see Corvus begin to stroke his beard. Kind just sort of like nods his head. He's like, "Yes, there are many factions of Force sensitive out there. He starts to name them off. He says there are I'm trying to. I'm trying to think of others besides the Genosari. There's of course those of the Genosari. There's factions of the Uchani that study Force meditation. I've heard of. Qualdo speaks up and he says, "I've heard a band of rogue mercenaries that use the Force and their advancements. Ah, yes, I've heard of them as well. And of course, we have none other than," and he like nods towards Nala, the Archbishop, and her hand.
Former Jedi, I guess you could say. Still Jedi. Maybe not in your eyes. Anyways, moving to the point.
She'll always be a Jedi to me, Kind says.
I think she'd make a pretty good
We
Sith.
raised that girl on Dantooine.
So the point is, you may or may not have know of the Witches of Dathomir.
They kind of like pause and look at each other for a moment, and he says, "Of course." Corvus speaks and he says, "Of course we know of these witches. But an ancient pact between our orders was forged long ago. We do not interfere with them and their going-ons, and they stay out of ours. It's been that way for centuries."
Well, we have reason to believe that this is an ancient curse. You know what? Gets into space wizardry stuff I don't really know a lot about. But it's an ancient weapon of theirs against Force users. Now, at this time, no way of knowing if it was meant for the Jedi, if it was meant for the Sith, or whatever. But among, of course, the Sith artifacts that you did find, this happened to happen, and you guys are now affected by it. But they would have the cure. Whether or not they will be forthcoming with the cure, yet remains to be seen. But that seems to be our next course of action.
Qualdo says,
The Dathomir witches.
Qualdo speaks up and he says, "If those witches don't hand over an antidote for our fallen brothers, then we will take it from them. Master, please, calm yourself," Kind says.
You're starting to sound like a Sith.
He looks to you and he says, "No, I'm sounding like someone who needs to silence a Sith."
Ooh,
That's a pretty good threat.
Masters, please. If you were able to find this out, then can we leave this to you? The way the organization is, we've lost almost half of our council. For any of us to leave now would
further weaken the Jedi, of course.
Fear
Well
not.
said.
Yeah. Are you actually gonna do that?
Yeah, Chandra likes messing with this guy. She'll step forward and she'll say, "Fear not. While you all may be in a weakened state at the moment, I, the Sith, Chandra, will help. Benevolent in my ways."
Kind of like chuckles a bit and he says, "As always, Miss Cassine, you are a delight. And I'm sure if your reputation is to precede you, you'll get this job done." "Yes," Corvus says as he strokes his beard. "Yes, I'm most curious about this. The witches of Dathomir have been dormant for centuries. What other dredges are going to come up because of this war? I don't know. But whatever it is, the Sword of the Light will be more than enough to handle it. Of course, my master. Of course, Master Qualdo. Of course." Kine looks to you all and he says, "Right. Well, then we will leave this to you all. We ask that you move with haste. The sedatives is working, and it's slowing the degradation down, but it's not a permanent fix."
Never thought it was going to be. So, we have our marching orders. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, he nods to you and he says, "Thank you all. I have no doubt that the task that you all are about to embark on is a challenging one. But know that you have the backing of our order, and that we send our hopes with you. It is not an exaggeration to say that the fate of our order is in your hands. Safe travels, and may the Force be with you. May the Force be with you. May the Force be with you." The Masters say to you all.
Short bow from Delcor.
A short, exaggerated bow from Chandra.
Nala just says, "May the Force be with you all here as well."
Calliope just kind of nods.
Same with Kuma.
All right. With that, you all head for the exits of the temple. Your mission at hand, traveling to the distant world of Dathomir to converse with witches for a cure for the Jedi Order. And as you all head that way, and before we close, the only question on your minds are, whose ship you're taking? Whose ship you're taking?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Chandra's like, "I only fly on my ship. I'll tell you that right now."
But yeah, so concludes this week's exciting episode of Star Wars D&D.
It was so good.
Yeah. We're setting it up, man.
CJ, stop
We're setting
throwing
it
his
up.
curveballs.
We're setting it
Oh
up.
my
We're setting up.
God.
It's campaign 3, man.
Somehow I knew that it wasn't just previously Nova in the mine prison anymore. I didn't know who would be in there, but
Was it not obvious, by the way?
it was.
So, okay, no. So, I don't know if you guys remember this. Hold on. Let me close out stream. Give me 1 second here. Hold on.
Of course.
Okay, everyone. As always, thank you all for joining us for our stream. I appreciate the people who stayed, the people who couldn't stay. I understand. I won't take it personal. But again, you guys will be able to find this video in the next few days on our YouTube channel at Dice Vibes. Well, youtube.com/Dice Vibes. Thank you all so much for the support. And we'll see you all next week to see what our crew gets up into next. Take care and stay safe. Goodbye.